Hey squad, welcome back. As I mentioned before, I'm just picking up exactly where I left off last time. Um, yeah, I just got to drop the opacity down, and we're going to get into it right away here. As I mentioned before, the character's name is Stephanie. She kind of got attacked out of nowhere, so she was just wearing very casual clothing when she had to vacate her place of residence and basically run for it. So I'm just going to put her in a little t-shirt and kind of some yoga pants there. I'm basically tracing over my other lines. As I mentioned before, the detail section, if you've done a proper job with the thumbnail, you're essentially just tracing over everything, and you're just making the lines you need to pop and cleaning up things along the way. I really enjoy doing the thumbnail section and the detail section. Inking section and painting, not so much. It's unfortunately a necessary evil when you're working independently, but this to me is like just pure creation. This is the fun part. This is, where you're writing and you're putting in your dialogue bubbles and you're laying out your pages and you're just trying to make everything as awesome as possible. Just really trying to get that form down as good as possible. I will have to unfortunately ink this and then paint it if this picture actually goes into the graphic novel, which I drew it with a scene in mind, so it most likely will. It's turning out really well, so I don't see why it isn't going to show up. Getting the contours to the head kind of put together in here, and like I said, I'm just going to kind of clean up those lines. My initial lips kind of went in very, very well, so I'm just really tracing over most of everything at this stage, but hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. I'll put more definition into the eyes. Those were more just kind of shapes. It's a bit difficult when I can't zoom in. I want to try and make the best video appearance for you as possible, so you can kind of see it happening. Normally, especially working digitally, I would probably start zooming in and trying to get a little bit more a little more detail out of this, but for the sake of what we're doing here, this is fine. Once again, she's kind of got that's the sleeve of the shirt coming in there, and the forearm and the hand. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna add a bag in her hand. I don't know if I'm gonna actually have the bag in her hand for the final graphic novel, but right now I kind of got this bag in her hand with some of her supplies. I can't really explain too much why she has that bag, but it is probably important. Getting the other sleeve of the shirt in there, and now I'm going to just start working on putting those details into that hand, getting those knuckles really popping. Once again, she's kind of making a fist here, putting a little more shape into the fingers. There's lots of ways to do fingers and hands. Lots of amazing artists out there. When we start getting into this stage of details, and then of course rendering, at that stage, you pretty much just kind of pick whatever type of artist style you like, and then maybe you discover your own style along the way. That's her, I guess, hairband or something like that. It's kind of metallic, so I want to add some more shape, and I'm going to put these kind of almost jewelry type circles over top of it. Getting in the hair pulling back, indicating her hairline, and around her ear the locks kind of spill out over. If you're creating characters, it's always a good idea, I find, to put as many flowing bits as possible, even if that is just a large bust line. I mean, something that can shape and move as your character's moving is always going to make life a lot easier when you're putting in dynamic poses and just make things more interesting. I rarely draw characters without some form of hair, especially women. I really tend not to go too short with their hair. I want to be able to, have that flowing out and flying in the air, even if they're just talking. It just makes everything look a lot more interesting. Just trying to find my hairlines here, just the path of movement to try and put it all together and make it all just look attractive. Once again, those yoga pants, they kind of flare out at the bottom, so I'm just putting those flares in, and I'll put a little more definition into her sneakers. Some more shape and contour to the sneakers. Got her laces kind of loose up at the top. She didn't have time to tie them. She's got to run. There's an ancient old assassin that's after her, and she's got to run for it. And the only thing in between that assassin and her is going to be the character from the last picture that we had done, Malcolm. Been kind of unwillingly thrown into this big chaotic event that will be carrying through the entire graphic novel. Going down to the other sneaker here, really make sure that we're getting that. Just gonna make sure I get those laces in properly, and her kind of her socks going into it. Really just take my time, making sure that I'm making as many things pop as possible. I can always come back in there if something's not working when I'm going to ink this in kind of the rendering process, and really fix things up if I need to. I try and work as efficiently as possible, so if I can get everything I need to in the first go, that's time. So I'll probably do that. Anyways, that's the detail for the most part, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, guys.